Hello everyone, welcome you all on the session on related party disclosure, which is Ind AS 24. I am CA Dr. Alok Garg, and by the profession, I'm a chartered accountant, a company secretary, diploma holder from in IFRS from ACCA UK, and a certified Ind AS from ICAI. So I'm working as a general manager finance with a listed company, and I have an overall experience of more than 15 years. I'm also author of 4 books on Ind AS. So today we are going to discuss on this particular standard, which is a disclosure based standard, Indian Accounting Standard 24. First of all, we will discuss what is the objective of this particular standard. So why this standard has been introduced? What is the role this standard has been played? So the objective of this standard is to ensure that an entity's financial statement contain the disclosures with respect to related party relationship, related party transaction, outstanding balances with related parties, commitments with related party. So before getting deep into this particular objective, let me discuss about the name or title of this particular standard, related party disclosure. First of all, we need to understand what is a related party. Second, we need to understand that this standard talks about the disclosure with the related parties. So what could be the disclosures with the related party? First of all, as far as the standard is concerned, every entity has to disclose what is the relationship with the related party. Second, the entity has to disclose what are the transactions which have been incurred with the related party. What is the outstanding balances which is lying with the related party? And is there any commitment with related parties there? So these sort of disclosures are required to be made in the notes to accounts. Now we need to understand why related party disclosure is required. So related party disclosure is required because related party is something which can influence the decision making capacity of the entity. For example, if I am an entity, so I have to make a transaction. I have to make a transaction with my subsidiary. So let's say if something which is coming at a cost of 100 rupees, being my subsidiary, I can sell that item on 100 rupees, less than 100 rupees or 105 rupees. But do I need to, or do I sell that particular product to an unrelated party at that particular amount? Answer is no, because related party is something which I am controlling, which this entity is controlling, and hence we can sell that particular product with on a loss or at a cost price or at a minimum profit. But to an unrelated party, this thing will not hold good. Second example, for example, B Limited was acquiring or purchasing some product from a C Limited. C Limited is an independent party. Okay. And now A Limited has invested into B Limited, and B Limited become a subsidiary of A Limited. So now the relationship between A Limited and B Limited is a holding company and subsidiary company. Okay. So A Limited is controlling B Limited. So since A Limited is controlling B Limited, A Limited can influence B Limited that you will not buy the product from C Limited. Rather, you have to buy, or you will have to buy the product from D Limited, which is my another subsidiary. Okay. So transaction with a related party can influence a particular party or a particular entity to not to involve in the transaction with an unrelated party. Okay. So that is why it is important to disclose what is the related party, what is the relationship, what are the transaction which is happening with the related party, what is the outstanding balance, what are the sort of commitments which are getting into with the related parties. So related parties are influencing the transactions from the entity side with the related party, as well as it is impacting the transaction with the unrelated party. So the disclosures are necessary so that users' attention could be drawn to the possibility that financial statement may be affected by such related party relationship and the transaction and any other items which is mentioned above. This standard shall be applied in identifying related party relationship and transaction. So this standard will tell you who is the related party. Okay, whether CEO of the company is a related party or not, whether a CFO of the company is a related party or not, whether A Limited is having a 60% stake in B Limited is a related party or not, whether independent director is related party or not, So this standard will solve all the answers of these particular questions. So this standard talks about who is the related party. This standard shall be applied in identifying outstanding balances, including commitments between the entity and its related parties. This standard identifies the circumstances in which disclosure is required. This standard determines the disclosure to be made. So in nutshell, this standard will tell you what are the sort of disclosures, who are the related parties, and which transactions are required to be disclosed. Now, first question and very important aspect of this particular standard, who is a related party? A related party is nothing. It could be a person or it could be an entity. So it could be a living thing or it could be a non-living thing. It could be a person, like I am a person, okay? It could be an entity like A Limited, B Limited, C Limited, okay? ABC and Associates LLP. So these could be the related party, okay? And when I say related party, so related party to whom? So related party to the reporting entity. For example, Mr. A is KMP in A Limited. So Mr. A is a related party of A Limited. Okay, so A Limited is a reporting entity, and who is a related party? Mr. A is a related party. Second example, B Limited is a subsidiary of A Limited. So in this case, A Limited is a reporting entity and B Limited is a subsidiary of A Limited, and hence B Limited is a related party. So what is meant by related party transaction? We understood meaning of related party. It's a person or an entity to the reporting entity. Second, what could be the related party transaction? Of course, sir, if I have entered into a contract with a related party, do I need to disclose that? Answer is no. So when disclosure will be required? Disclosure will be required when the transaction is happening. And when I say related party transaction, it is transfer of resources, services, or obligations between a reporting entity and a related party, regardless of whether a price is charged or not charged. If I'm transferring some resources, I'm transferring some material, services free of cost. So it doesn't matter I'm charging any money or not, but if it is a transaction which is happening with a related party in terms of transfer of resources, services, or obligation, then such disclosure is required because it's a related party transaction. What could be the example of related party transaction? Purchase or sale of goods and services, purchase or sale of property and other assets, rendering or receiving of services, lease contracts, transfer of research and development, okay, transfer under license agreements, settlement of liabilities on behalf of the entity or by the entity on behalf of that related party. For example, if Tata Sons will say that I will discharge the liability of Tata Steel, or let's say Tata Motors, in that case, it is again a related party transaction. Now, I've told you that two kinds of related party. One is person and another one is entity. So now in this particular slide, we will discuss that which person is a related party to the reporting entity. So person or a close member of that person's family. So friends, in our accounting standard, in the Companies Act, the word uses relative. But in Indian accounting standard, the word uses close member of the person's family. So it is nothing, it's a relative. Okay. So just for the sake of convenience, you can say that a person or a relative of that person. Although in Ind AS or IFRS, the word uses close member of that person's family. So here I am using a word relative. Okay. Just I am replacing this word relative with the close member of that person's family for the sake of convenience. A person or a relative is related to reporting entity if that person, so a person or his or her relative will be a related party to the reporting entity if that particular person has control or joint control over the reporting entity. For example, Mr. A has 60% stake in A Limited. So Mr. A is controlling A Limited. Okay, Mr. A has a control over A Limited. So for A Limited, Mr. A is a related party. Or that person or relative of that person has significant influence over the reporting entity. Or that person or the relative of that person is a member of the KMP of the reporting entity or of a parent of the reporting entity. So in the first example, if a person or his or her relative is holding 50% stake, which is kind of a joint control, more than 50% stake, which is kind of a control, or more than 20% stake, which is kind of a significant influence. So if that person is having either control or joint control or significant influence, either that person or his relative is having control, joint control, or significant influence in the reporting entity, then that person or the relative of that person will be considered as a related party to the reporting entity. Or if that person or the relative of that person is a KMP or parent of the or KMP of the parent of the reporting entity, then that person or his or her relative is also considered as a related party. For example, AG Limited is a reporting entity. Mr. A, AG Limited and Mr. A are related parties if Mr. A has a control, joint control, significant influence over AG Limited, or Mr. A is the KMP of AG Limited or KMP of parent of AG Limited, then also it will be considered as a related party of the AG Limited. Now we have to discuss, sir, what is meant by relative or what is meant by close member of the family. So close member of the family means father, mother, okay, father and mother, then brother and sister, father, mother, brother, sister, then son and daughter, okay, children, okay. So father, mother, spouse, husband, wife, brother, sister, children, okay, these are considered as a close member of the family. Apart from that, the domestic partner is also considered as a close member of the family or relative from the perspective of related party, okay. Or if anyone, any relative who is dependent on either on that person or his or her spouse, then also that person will be considered as a related party. So who will be related party? Father, mother is related party, father, mother of that person, not father-in-law, mother-in-law. Father and mother of that particular person is considered as a close member of the family. So father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, or children, these are considered as a close member of the family of that particular person who is a related party. Then any dependent, any person, for example, if my father-in-law is dependent upon me or my wife, then he will be considered as a related party, okay. Or domestic partner is also considered as a related party, is also considered as a relative, is also considered as a close member of the family of that person, okay. Understood? For example, if I am a related party of any particular reporting entity, then my close member of the family is also considered as a related party. For example, I am a CEO of the company, I am a KMP of the company, I am a related party, and that company is also providing salary to my brother. So he will also be considered as a related party of that company, and that transaction is required to be reported and disclosed. Now, what is meant by KMP? KMP means a person. Key management personnel is a person who is having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling the activities of the entity, either directly or indirectly. For example, managing director, executive chairman, executive directors, including any director, whether executive or otherwise, of that particular entity. So if a director is an executive director, or otherwise if is not an executive director but is responsible for, and the director is having an authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling the activities of the entity, that person is considered as a KMP. Generally, managing director, CEO of the company, CFO of the company are considered as a KMP of that particular company generally. So we'll find the name of these three persons: MD and CEO, full-time director, your executive chairman, your CFO, sometimes company secretary. You can find these relationship in India's disclosures as a KMP. Now we are discussing that. So we have discussed who is a related party. We discussed about the person. Now we are discussing the related party relationship with the entity. So earlier we have discussed about the person. Now we are discussing about an entity. So when A Limited and B Limited is a related party, okay, we have to discuss that. So first of all, An entity is considered as a related party with the reporting entity if both are the member of the same group. If both are members of the same group. What is meant by group? Group means parent, subsidiary, and fellow subsidiary. Okay. For example, A Limited is there. So A Limited is having a subsidiary B Limited, and A Limited is also having a subsidiary C Limited, D Limited. Okay. And C Limited is having a subsidiary E Limited. So member of the group means parent. Who is the parent? A Limited is a parent. Who is a subsidiary? B Limited, C Limited, D Limited is a subsidiary of A Limited. And who is a fellow subsidiary? C Limited, D Limited is a fellow subsidiary of B Limited. Okay. And E Limited's parent is C Limited. Okay. So in this case, these are considered as a fellow subsidiary. Okay. These are considered as a subsidiary, and this A Limited is the parent. So member of the group means parent, subsidiary, fellow subsidiary. If two entities are member of the same group. Okay. So in this case, all these entities are related to each other. If we are preparing the financial statement of E Limited, then A, B, C, D are the related parties. If we are preparing the financial statement of A Limited, then B, C, D, E are the related party. If we are preparing the financial statement of C Limited, then A, B, D, and E are the related parties. So two entities or more than two entities are related party if they are member of the same group. And same group means parent, subsidiary, fellow subsidiary. Second, one is an associate or JV of the other. One is an associate or JV of the other, or an associate or JV of a member of a group of which the other entity is a member. For example, X Limited is a reporting entity. So X Limited and Y Limited are related parties. If Y is an associate or JV of X, for example, X is a reporting entity and Y is an associate or JV of X, or if Y is an associate or JV of parent of X, or Y is an associate or JV of fellow subsidiary of X. Okay. So if there is an associate or joint venture of the member of the same group, then that associate and joint venture and this group is considered as a related party. Okay. For example, X Limited is having an associate or joint venture. Of course, that associate and joint venture are the related party of X Limited. But if this associate and joint venture are the associate and joint venture of parent of X, subsidiary of X, or fellow subsidiary of X, then again these parties are considered as a related party to the X Limited. Both are joint venture of the same third party. For example, Indus Towers Limited and Vodafone Idea Limited. So these two entities are joint venture of Vodafone Group UK, Vodafone Group PLC, Vodafone PLC. In this case, Vodafone PLC is the in this case, since Indus Tower and Vodafone Idea Limited are the joint venture of the same third party. In this case, these two parties, Indus Towers and Vodafone Idea Limited, are considered as a related party. Okay. So if there are two joint ventures of the same party, then both the joint ventures are considered as a related party. Okay. And of course, this Vodafone Group and Indus Tower is a related party because it is a joint venture. And of course, Vodafone Group and Vodafone Idea is a related party because it's a joint venture. Okay. So guys, if a company is a subsidiary, joint venture, and associate of a third party, okay, then such arrangement is always a related party. So we are discussing what else. Okay. So first we discussed if two entities are member of the same group, then all the entities of the group are related to each other. Then we have discussed if there is an associate and joint venture of a reporting entity, it is a related party. Or if it is an associate and joint venture of the member of that particular group, then again it is a related party. Then we have discussed if two entities are joint venture of a third party, then these two joint ventures are considered as a related party because a single person is controlling these two, jointly controlling these two entities. So there could be an influence. One entity is a JV of third party and other is a associate of the third party. So earlier we have discussed two entities are joint venture of third party. Now we have discussed one is a joint venture, one is an associate. So even in this case, this JV and associate is a related party. Last one, the entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified. The entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person. So we have discussed what is the meaning of person. We have discussed now who is a person. A person is a person or a family member of that person or of that person. You remember we have discussed the meaning of person. You remember who is a person? A person or a close member of that person's family. A person or a relative is related when that person is controlling or jointly controlling. The person has a significant influence. The person is a member of KMP, of a reporting entity, or parent of the reporting entity. Okay. So now we are discussing the last point. The entity is controlled or jointly controlled by a person identified earlier. For example, A Limited is a reporting entity and Y Limited are related parties. So X Limited and Y Limited are related parties. If Mr. A, who is related to X Limited, also controls or jointly control Y Limited. For example, Mr. A is a KMP in X Limited. Okay. So Mr. A is a managing director and CEO of X Limited. So Mr. A is KMP. And Mr. A is having a control or joint control in Y Limited. So if I talk about the relationship between Mr. A and X Limited, Mr. A is a KMP of the reporting entity. If I talk about the relationship of Mr. A and Y Limited, so Mr. A is either controlling or jointly controlling the Y Limited. So if this is the case, then this X Limited and Y Limited are the related parties. So if a person who is relating to a reporting entity, like he is a KMP, and that person or his or her relative is also having a control or joint control in another entity, then these two entities are considered as a related parties. Clear? A person, next point, a person who is having a control or joint control of the entity. So a person, Mr. A, who is having a control or joint control in X Limited, has significant influence over the entity or is a member of the KMP of the entity or of its parent. So X Limited is a reporting entity. Okay. And Y Limited, X Limited is a reporting entity and Y Limited are related parties. If Mr. A, who is controlling X Limited, Mr. A is controlling X Limited. Okay. And Mr. A also having a significant influence over Y Limited. So Mr. A is controlling X Limited and Mr. A is also having a significant influence in Y Limited. So in this case, if a person who is a controlling or joint controlling an entity is also having a significant influence in another entity, then these two entities will be considered as a related party. Okay. Then these two entities will be considered as a related party. Clear? This is clear. So a person, so this is a person. When I say person, means person or his or her relative. Okay. So in one entity, he is control or joint control. In the second entity, he is having a significant influence. So these two entities are considered as a related party. Or a person who is having a control or joint control, and that person is a KMP, either significant influence or that person is a KMP in another entity. Then again, these two entities are considered as a related party. Second point, entity or any member of a group. The entity means, let's say, X Limited. The entity or any member of a group of which it is a part. When I say member of a group, means parent, subsidiary, fellow subsidiary. Okay. So the entity or any member of that group means the parent of that entity, the subsidiary of that entity, or fellow subsidiary of that entity. The entity or any member of the group of which it is a part provides KMP services to the reporting entity or to the parent of the reporting entity. Okay. For example, X Limited is a parent of Y Limited. X Limited is a parent of Y Limited. So this is a X Limited and X Limited is a parent holding company of Y Limited. Y Limited and Z Limited are related parties. So in this case, who will be the related party? So X Limited is a parent of Y Limited and Y Limited and Z Limited will be considered as a related party when, if either Z Limited or any other entity in the group to which Z belongs providing KMP services to either X Limited or Y Limited. Sir, what does it mean? Z Limited is an entity. Okay. So if Z Limited is providing a KMP services to X Limited, who is X Limited? X Limited is a parent of Y Limited. Y Limited is a reporting entity. So you are the auditor or you are the accountant of Y Limited, and Y Limited is a reporting entity. So if Z Limited is providing a key management personal services to the parent of the reporting entity or to the reporting entity, then Z Limited or Y Limited will be considered as a related party. Sir, what happens if Z Limited is not providing the KMP services of the KMP services to the X Limited or Y Limited, but there is a subsidiary of Z Limited, there is a parent of Z Limited, there is a fellow subsidiary of Z Limited who are providing the KMP services to the X Limited or Y Limited. Even in this case, Y Limited and Z Limited are considered as a related party. Again, let's discuss the entity or any member of a group to which it is a part. So the entity or the group to which that entity belongs, okay, provides the KMP services either to the reporting entity or to the parent of the reporting entity. So if any entity or group to which that entity belongs providing KMP services either to that particular entity or the parent of that particular entity, then those entities will be considered as a related parties. Okay, clear? In special consideration, there are some special things which are given in the standard. The clarity which is given in the standard, and standard says that when I talk about associate and joint venture, so associate includes subsidiaries of associate and joint venture includes subsidiaries of joint venture. So wherever you are saying, sir, if there is an associate or joint venture of a third party, it means associate includes subsidiaries also and joint venture includes joint subsidiary of joint venture also. Okay. Substance of the relationship and not merely the legal form to be considered for evaluating related party relationship. So guys, substance over form is the key ingredient in any standard. Okay, so even in this case, you have to see the substance of the relationship. You are not required to see merely the legal form. What is the legal form? Okay, for example, in case of sale and leaseback transaction, A Limited has sold a property with a commitment to purchase back after 5 years, with a commitment to buy back after 5 years to its subsidiary. So in this case, this will not be a sale and purchase transaction. This will be could be a financing transaction, could be a sale and leaseback transaction. Okay, so you are required to see the substance of the transaction, substance of the relationship, not merely the legal form, the relationship. Okay, for example, there could be a situation where A Limited is having a 60% stake in B Limited, but A Limited is not controlling B Limited. Why? Because the control has given to the minority interest, to the non-controlling interest, to the 40% stakeholder, okay, by virtue of a contract. So in this case, this A Limited, although having a 60% stake, will not be considered as a controlling party. So you have to see the substance of the relationship, not merely the legal form. The following are not considered as a related party, sir. Companies that allow a person could be director in, let's say, 8 companies, 10 companies, 15 companies. So if there is a person who is a director in 3 companies, a person who is a director in Tata Group company, Birla Group company, and Reliance Group companies, okay, whether just a person who is a director in 3 different companies, whether these 3 different companies could be a related party, answer is no. So standard says that the following are not considered as a related party if the 2 entities having a common director or a KMP in common. Okay, so if a person who is KMP in 3 different entities, then just merely this person is either a director in multiple entities or a KMP in multiple entities. These multiple entities will not be a related party. So guys, related party is not a joke. Related party is something which is a very critical and very important disclosure. Okay, a member of the KMP of one entity has a significant influence over the another entity. Mr. A, who is a KMP of X Limited, and Mr. A, who is having a significant influence in Y Limited. In this case, X and Y are not related party. Sir, but if Mr. A is a KMP in X Limited and Mr. A has a control in Y Limited or joint control in Y Limited, then friends, it has been covered in the earlier paragraphs. Okay, in this case, X and Y will be a related party. So for a related party, control and joint control on over one entity is important. Okay. two venturer. There are two venturer. For example, Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Group PLC. They have invested in Indus Tower Limited. So there are two joint venturers. I'm not talking about joint venture. I'm talking about venturer who are the investor. So just merely two persons have invested in a single company, they will not be a related party. Okay. Provider of finance. If a NBFC or a bank is financing trade union, public utilities, department and agencies of a government that does not control, joint control or significant influence over the reporting entity. So if there is a provider of finance, trade union, public utilities, department and agency of government who are not having a control, joint control or significant influence are not a related party. A customer is not a related party. A supplier, there is a major customer. So just by virtue of becoming a major customer is not becoming a related party. A supplier, a franchisor, a distributor. If I have taken a franchisee of Nestle, franchisee of Hindustan Unilever, I will not be a related party. Distributor, general agent. So these are not considered as a related party. Now coming to the last and the most important part. So we have discussed what is meant by related party transaction. What is meant by relative? When I say relative, I mean to say what is meant by close member of the family person. What is meant by KMP? Who will be the related party? A person or an entity. When I say person, a person or his or her relative will be the related party if they have a control, joint control, significant influence, or they are KMP or of that entity, or they are KMP of the holding company or parent entity. Coming to the disclosures, first of all, there is a parent and subsidiary relationship. There is a holding and subsidiary relationship. It shall be disclosed even though there are no any transaction between them. So it doesn't matter if there is a transaction between the subsidiary and parent, it has to be disclosed. If there is no transaction between subsidiary and parent, it is required to be disclosed. Okay. So if there is a holding subsidiary relationship, it is required to be disclosed irrespective of the fact whether there is a transaction or not. What could be the disclosure? Name of the parent, name of the ultimate controlling party. For example, A is controlling B and X is controlling A. In this case, the parent of B is A Limited. The ultimate parent or ultimate controlling entity is X Limited. If neither of the above produce financial statement available for public use, the name of the next most senior parent. Okay. So if a parent or ultimate parent is not producing the financial statement at a public forum, in that case, the next senior parent, the name of the next senior parent is also required to be disclosed. Second, KMP compensation. So in case of a KMP, like managing director, like CEO, like CFO, so the disclosure has to be bifurcated into 5 parts: short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, other long-term employee benefits, and termination benefits as per Ind AS 19. As per Ind AS 19. So Ind AS 19 talks about employee benefits and share-based payments as per Ind AS 102. Okay. So the compensation of a KMP has to be bifurcated into 5 categories, and accordingly, in these 5 categories, the compensation is required to be disclosed. Then, for other disclosure, in case of a related party transaction, you have to disclose the amount of the transaction, the amount of outstanding balances, including the commitments, if any, the terms and conditions, including whether they are secured or unsecured, and the nature of consideration to be provided in settlement, detail of any guarantee given or received. If there is any provision for doubtful debt, for example, the company is selling the goods to its parent company, okay, and the company is creating a provision for doubtful debt on the receivables from the parent company. So in this case, this provision for doubtful debt is required to be disclosed. Okay. Who should make separate disclosure? So the parent is required to make a separate disclosure. So entities with joint control or significant influence, subsidiaries, associates, JVs, KMPs, other related party. So if you are forming, or if you are finalizing or preparing the disclosure of a related party transactions, so you have to bifurcate the disclosure into multiple categories according to the relationship. So one is parent, then entities with joint control or significant influence. For example, I am a X Limited and I have a transaction with my parent. So I have to show the transaction separately with the parent. If I am X Limited and I have a transaction with my joint venturer who is having a joint control on me, or my investor who is having a significant influence in me, so I have to show the transaction separately with the entities with joint control or significant influence. If I have a transaction with my subsidiary, okay, subsidiary, then again I have to show the transaction separately for the subsidiaries, associates, joint venture, KMP, and other related parties. Sir, if the transaction is on arm's length basis, for example, I am selling a goods to unrelated party, and I am selling a goods to my subsidiary. So, and I am charging a same amount. So, is the disclosure required if I am selling on an arm's length basis? Yes. Even though if you are doing a transaction on an arm's length basis, still it is required to be disclosed. And if you are not doing the transaction on an arm's length basis, that fact is required to be disclosed, but again, it is not allowed. Okay. Coming to the comparison between Ind AS and accounting standard, friends, this was a very small standard. And now we need to discuss what is the difference between accounting standard 18, which talks about related party disclosure, and Ind AS 24, which talks about related party disclosure. Ind AS 24 is a title in Ind AS for the related party disclosure. Under AS, it is AS 18. Okay. If I talk about the definition of relative, in Ind AS use the term as a close member of a family of a person. Okay. Whereas AS 18 is using the word relative of an individual. Okay. If I talk about KMP, our accounting standard 18 was only covering the KMP. Ind AS covers the key managerial personnel of a reporting entity as well as the parent of the reporting entity as a related party. If I'm talking about post-employment benefit, so AS 18 does not specifically cover entities that are post-employment benefit plan. For example, a company has created a trust, and the trust is responsible for administration or management of provident fund or gratuity. So that trust is acting as a post-employment benefit plan. So there is nothing, there is no any specific coverage of these post-employment benefit plan in accounting standard. But Ind AS 24 specifically covers the post-employment benefit plan for the benefit of employees as a related party. Then next most senior payment, next most senior parent. But as far as Ind AS is concerned, so Ind AS 24 has given an additional disclosure that the name of the next most senior parent is required, who is producing the consolidated financial statement on the public forum. When I talk about KMP, so this part we have already covered. So this is getting repeated in this particular slide. Okay. Guys, I have also given the notes to accounts from a published disclosure of Tata Steel Limited. And if you see this particular disclosure, you can see that the Tata Steel has given the related party transaction. The company's related party primarily consists of subsidiary, associate, joint venture in Tata Sons Private Limited, including its subsidiaries and joint venture. The company routinely enters into the transaction with this related party in the ordinary course of business at arm's length at market rate and terms. Okay. So the company has given the related party transaction, and these are the related party transactions: purchase of goods, sale of goods, services received, services rendered, interest income recognized, expense recognized, dividend paid, dividend received, provisions, management contract, sale of investment with subsidiary, associate, joint venture, and the parents subsidiary and joint ventures. Okay. These are the transactions which they have disclosed, and they have also disclosed the important terms and conditions with these transactions. Okay. And they have also disclosed during the year ended, the company has contributed 347 crores to the post-employment benefit plans. Okay. Then they have also given the details of significant investment in subsidiaries, associate, and joint ventures. Okay. The country of incorporation and their stake. So this disclosure they have given in their annual account. So you can see the annual report of Tata Steel Limited. Although every listed company has given the related party disclosure, but as far as Tata Steel Limited is concerned, so we have extracted the disclosure from the published annual report and given just for your ready reference. Quickly, let's summarize the standard. So we have started the standard with the objective. We discussed what is meant by related party transaction. We discussed what is meant by related party transaction. Who is a related party? A related party could be a person or could be an entity. So when a person could be a related party, a person or his relative or her relative would be a related party if the person or his or her relative is controlling, jointly controlling, having a significant influence, or KMP of the reporting entity, or KMP of the parent of the reporting entity. And we have also discussed like 7-8 conditions when an entity will be a related party to the reporting entity. So we discussed what is the related party relationship, who could be the related party, and the disclosure which is required in the reporting entities, notes to accounts. So thank you so much. And we have covered Ind AS 24 completely. Thanks for your patience listening.